I was basically how I discovered the term jhana was I had gone to a Goenka, one of those Goenka 10-day retreats, right?
Yeah. I've done a number of those.
And so
it's a good place to get used to the idea of being on a cushion.
Well, maybe. To me, it's more about self-abuse. It's really not a place to learn how to love meditation.
No, but you can get around it, sort of.
Right. Most of the people I've met who have done one Goenka retreat never expect to go back to another one, even though they speak very highly of the retreat. They don't ever expect to go back. And to me, that's not successful. If you want to get out of meditation, what meditation is available to you, which is defined as jhana in the suttas, then you really have to learn to love meditation, because you got to do a lot of meditation to get that jhana thing, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, Goenka,
well, it's tapes, and after a while, that tapes drive you.
Right, it's tapes, and not only that, but it's many hours of meditation, and most people end up with sore knees, sore backs, and sore backsides, and get almost nothing out of the retreat other than a lot of pain.
Well, it took me a couple before I got onto what how I could do that. Because the price was certainly right.
Right, it's free.
And people, you go there and they take care of you, and
right,
and there you are.
But the way I look at it, it's you get what you pay for.
Well, yeah.
Right, and so anyway, I'm at this retreat, and I had been experiencing a profound bliss and joy in my meditations for decades before I got there.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm experiencing my profound bliss and joy and ecstasy while I'm meditating, and I get called up in front, which is normal, right? And I'm a new student because I've never been to a Goenka retreat, but I had been to many 10-day meditation retreats before that. And I don't mind, Zen mind, no mind, and beginner's mind, and all that kind of stuff. I'm okay with being treated as a beginner,
Why not?
But the guy who was leading the retreat, the assistant teacher, he became incensed with the subtle little things that go on when I meditate, which is mostly when I'm experiencing the bliss and joy of meditation. Maybe some tears will streak down my face, and my torso might rock back and forth just a little bit, and my head might bob a little bit. And he became obsessed with my bobbing head and my rocking torso. He actually kicked me out of the retreat on the 8th day.
Really? Wow.
And basically he said, you have got to get your head to stop bobbing and your back not rocking. And I said, look, I'm not here to babysit my back and my head. They just do whatever they want to. I'm just meditating, right? And he said, well, okay, then you've got to go. And he specifically said because people with weak minds, suggesting I had a weak mind, might be subject to problems. And so, and then from reviewing the Goenka movement, it became clear to me that within Goenka, especially 10 years ago, the word jhana was not going to be used. And it was considered to be an evil word, not permitted to be used.
Right.
They did not use the term.
I used it once with them.
Oh, really? And what happened?
And they weren't thrilled with the idea that I would mention such. I've been practicing yoga relaxation for 50 years, and it's a sweeping, with relaxing. Same
so that's
thing.
a little bit like the Goenka model.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Except they didn't tie in relaxation; they're just sweeping.
They're just it's a clean sweep.
Right.
They want to get that. They like the idea that I could sweep everything in like 15 seconds or up and down and. But last time I went to India, I did a.
You were just in India, right?
Last winter.
Oh, last winter. Okay.
So I went to Sarnath.
Okay.
And it was as a Goenka.
Oh, okay. I was kind of curious what you were doing in
India.
So it's primarily a Goenka thing.
But I had this wonderful. I was I don't know, I guess it was about 5 or 6 days into the meditation, and I was having severe, whatever they call Indian revenge or Montezuma's revenge,
Right.
and they were trying to give me these pills, and they weren't working very well, and I ended up very weak. But about 5 or 6 days in, I was in. I thought at the time that it was a 1910 British railroad station, like Victoria Station, whatever the different names are. And I was going to go talk to this guy. He was in a bigger, good size, in a tweed and tweed outfit and bowler. And I was he was the one I chose, but there were.
Well, hang on. Before we continue, I'm a little unclear about this.
Yeah.
Is this a hallucination or a recollection of a previous lifetime, or are you talking about something that took place on the material plane in the?
Well, I swore that it was there. That I was going to go talk to this guy,
But this was during meditation.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm awake.
Okay.
I'm this isn't well.
Okay.
But prior to that, I saw where there were. It must have been at least 10 or 12 different scenes that were going on. And it's like I had these screens for them all, and they were all. They looked like they were all very interesting. But I happened to choose this particular one, and I went into that, and I didn't do the other ones. But I mean, these things were all going on, and I could go in there, and I was going to talk to the guy, but the meditation period ended right then.
Okay.
And
I get you. Well, just out of curiosity, did you talk to the meditation teacher about these?
oh
things?
no! By then I've learned that we don't do that.
Why?
Well. I guess I play a low profile most of the time, even in regular.
You mean you've avoided being kicked out of a Goenka retreat?
Yeah. No, I learned, I've.
So you learned that you can't talk about these things at a Goenka retreat,
Right.
or you'll get kicked out.
Well, now
Or
I did at one retreat. This one woman was moaning and pretty good, and nobody said anything.
Did you ever see her back at another retreat?
Well,
My experience of the only Goenka retreat I went to was here in the United States, and they were extremely strict about you had to be at certain places at certain times. And I remember right in the middle of the morning video, Dharma video, with Goenka, I had eaten a few too many stewed prunes in my oatmeal that morning. So my bowels were
sure.
ready to go, and I ran to the outhouse, almost not making it. And the retreat manager followed me there and waited until I came out and scolded me when I came out.
What are you supposed to do?
Right.
What would you do?
Well,
I know.
I said, well, would you prefer,
right.
a mess on the carpet?
Right. Was that North Fork?
Yes, it was at North Fork.
I mean, I seemed to get everything out of the retreat except for what they were doing.
Right. Well, like you, I've been meditating forever. I really don't need a retreat environment to get, something out of meditation. So I certainly don't need all the weird drama that, and trauma that goes on with a Goenka retreat.
Right. Yeah.
So you must have gone to a fair number of Goenka retreats, it sounds like.
Yeah.
How many, do you do one a year or more than a year? Okay.
No. I think I've done 9.
9.
But
When was your first?
2000.
Okay.